As I'm creating this right now, Mr. Beast has over 219 million subscribers, which is crazy, insane. Like that's the highest, most subscriber rate of anybody that's a single YouTube creator. The question is, how did he get here? Because we can look at that and we can be like, oh, it was luck, right? Because that's the thing that we tend to go to is like, if somebody's successful, well, they got lucky. And maybe there's some elements of luck that happen into the journey of the process, but Mr. Beast's process wasn't the luck process. It was very well manufactured in a sense, and it's a process. And there's things that he did that actually worked really well. It's a simple, powerful process that he used when he was starting out, because he started out with anybody like everybody else. Like he started out with nothing. He started out with no subscribers, no views, and for many years he grinded and created videos that barely got any traction. But the question is, how did he go from that point, that Mr. Beast who nobody knew about, that didn't have any traction, to the Mr. Beast of today that everybody knows about? How did that happen? And is there things that we can learn from this that we can apply to our own businesses? In fact, I believe that if we take what I'm going to reveal and we're going to talk about, there's 5 things, 5 keys we're going to break down. When we take what Mr. Beast did and we apply it to our own businesses, I'm convinced that it basically is going to guarantee success. Now, it might take a little bit. Again, it took Mr. Beast a couple years to gain any sort of traction. But when we're committed and we follow these 5 keys, I believe we will be successful in the long run. It's inevitable. In the same way that Mr. Beast is successful, we can do the same thing. We can model it for ourselves. So let's break it down. 5 keys to get into that state of truly being successful in your online business or whatever it is that you're building, and how you can do it well. Let's start with key number 1. Yeah. Key number 1 is obsession. The key of obsession, because here's the simple reality. When Mr. B started out, he started creating YouTube videos because he was obsessed with YouTube. He was obsessed with the idea of creating the best YouTube videos. That's all he wanted to do. He wasn't obsessed with making a lot of money. He wasn't obsessed with all the fame. Instead, he was obsessed with creating a great product, because his product that he's giving to the marketplace is the product of entertainment in the form of YouTube videos. When he creates a great product, then people will engage with the product, they'll watch the product, they'll engage with it, they're going to share it with other people. That's what a great product looks like in the YouTube economy. The thing is here, we have to become obsessed with the right thing. We're not obsessed about making money. If you become obsessed about making money, then making the money is the only thing you'll come away with. But if you become obsessed with creating a great product that truly is transformational and is going to change lives, then all of a sudden, guess what happens? The money and the fame come automatically when you become obsessed with creating great products. And that's the first thing that we have to learn, is we have to actually become obsessed, but in the right way. And for myself, I love creating online courses, online coaching programs, online transformation, essentially. I love facilitating transformation and creating a product. A great product to me is creating the ad, from the ad to the landing page to the funnel that people go through, the whole journey. I become obsessed with the journey because I love creating a great journey and I love taking a great journey. So I love doing things and creating things that take people on a journey from where they're at to where they want to go in the simplest, most straightforward process, but it's excellent. I love creating a great journey. I'm obsessed with creating a great product so that when people come away with it, they're customers for life. I love doing that. And so that's an obsession that you need to have in your business, especially if you're an online course business, as most of you probably are that are watching this. You must become obsessed with creating a transformational, a great product. And if you do that, I guarantee you will be successful in the long run. Now, here's a key with this, and this is a big key. Obsession is not perfection. So what happens a lot of times, because we want to create such a great product, we think we have to have it perfect in the beginning. But no, actually perfection will hinder your obsession. Because if you try to be perfect in the beginning, it will fail and it will take too long and you'll give up before you have any traction. So what you have to do is you have to start simple, in the most simplest version of your product, in the most simplest version, the most simplest transformation you can give people. You start there, and then you build on it, build on it, build on it, build on it. And a great product will be created over a period of 1, 2, 3 years. But if you have that mindset of like, over the next 3 years, I'm going to create the best product ever, but I'm going to start in the most simple way possible, which means it's not perfect. It's simple. It's just straightforward and simple. And then you create these feedback loops in that system to learn from it. Then you can create that great product in the long run. So don't think obsession means you have to be perfect in the beginning, because it doesn't. It'll actually keep you from being successful if you try to be perfect. So be obsessed with creating a great process and a great journey, but start in the most simplest way possible. That's the key. Number 1, what do we learn? Obsession. You have to be obsessed if you want to be successful. Number 2 is Mastermind. That's another thing that Mr. Beast did. When he was starting out, he found people in the same place as he was, and he connected with them, and they basically started their own mastermind group where they would mastermind together. They'd constantly be in conversation together on almost a daily basis, and they talk about how they can grow their YouTube channels, how they can create better videos. They talked about their obsession. So he found other people that were obsessed, and he connected with them, and he masterminded with them. And doing this, because what would happen is each one of them had their own flavor of videos that they would do, and then they go out and create the videos. They try the ideas that they came up with, and then they come back and say, hey, this didn't work. We learned this and this from it. Here's what we need to do instead. And so everybody together, it created a force that couldn't be stopped, because together they ended up growing their YouTube channels together because they learned so much from each other and from trying stuff together. It shortcutted their experience. So here's the reality. When we find a mastermind group, a group of people we can mastermind with together that are also obsessed with the same thing we're obsessed with, then we will shortcut our journey. There's just no way around it. We'll learn quicker by doing it as a group. That's just a simple reality of life. If we mastermind with the right people, we'll do things together better. Again, so here's the thing. Find the right people who are obsessed with the right things. Again, find people who are obsessed with creating a great product. Not about creating wealth, not about creating money or getting fame. Stay away from those people. But find the people that are obsessed with creating a great product. Connect with them. Pay to be part of them. Their group if you need to. Because, again, there's a reason that people pay as much as $100K or more. I think there's some out there that are $250K per year to be part of. But mastermind groups, high-end mastermind groups, people pay that. Why? Because they know just one little thing that they can learn from those mastermind groups will make them millions of dollars because they're going to implement it. So find that group of people that you can go with, and even if you have to pay for it a little bit, go pay for it. Go invest in yourself in that group because it will shortcut your journey. There's just no way around that. But again, find the people that are obsessed with the right things. Not people obsessed with the money, but people obsessed with creating great products. And if you do that, you will shortcut your success. There's just no way around that. So that's the second lesson we can learn from Mr. Beast. Number 1, he was obsessed. Number 2, he found other people that were obsessed just like him, and they worked together to make a great fit. Now, in the end, I'm going to invite you to something that, end of this video specifically, I'm going to invite you to something that might be a good fit for you, where it is a mastermind, is people working together to create great products. Number 3, third thing that we want to do is we want to double down on the things that work. And this is a very specific strategy that Mr. Beast and anybody that's been successful has done again and again and again. This is a simple strategy. 1, they tried stuff. And again, this is not the perfection thing. Our goal is to create the best product ever. So we'll take ideas, and we have a lot of ideas, right? But we take one of those ideas, the most simple one. Again, start simple, start small. It's not about being big and being perfect right away. But they would go out and they'd try these different YouTube ideas. And some of them would just fail miserably. But then every so often, they did something that worked. For instance, one of the videos that really started working for Mr. Beast was he counted to 100,000 in one video, which is like, it took him like 10 hours, I think. But he counted to 100,000, which is insane. That's crazy. But it got a lot of views. It got a lot of traction. People talked about it. And so he doubled down on the idea. Then he created other videos where he said Logan Paul's name for 100,000 times, I think. And then he watched like It's Everyday Bro song from Jake Paul 10 hours straight. Again, it was these marathon kind of things that he did that nobody else was willing to do. But he did it, and it got a lot of traction, a lot of views, a lot of traction to his channel. But another thing that he did, that this became a staple of his whole videos, all of his videos of his channel, is he gave away $10,000 to a homeless person. And that video went really well. And so he's like, oh, shoot, why don't I just do this again? So he started giving away more money. And since then, like, we know Mr. Beast because of the generosity that he has, mostly because he gives a lot of money away in his videos. And so that's become a staple of his channel because he learned something that works and redid it in many, many different ways. In the same way, we have to find the simple things that works, which means the only way you're going to find something that works is you got to try stuff. If you don't try it, you're not going to find the thing that works. So go try stuff, like, and try it quickly. Like, this is why I will always start people off with a webinar. Because if you're doing a live webinar, it's easier to do than doing a 5-day challenge. It's easier to do than almost anything else, just to teach something live in an hour and a half. It's easier to do. So to go try it and then have an offer at the end. And if people sign up for the offer, then you're like, okay, this is an idea that's working. Let's double down on it. Let's make it better. And then when we make it better, then we're going to, like, it's going to get better and better and better until it becomes a flywheel that can't be stopped. So that's what you want to do. So go out there, create videos like this, like start creating videos, try stuff, create different offers, test it out with people, see if people want to buy, and figure out, okay, people don't want to buy. What can I learn from it? Then double down on, then try something else. Double down on what works. Again, this is a very key thing is, again, we think we have to be perfect right away. And so we don't actually take the action. But no, the quicker you start doing some stuff and just like, okay, I'm going to do a webinar this weekend. Oh, shoot, now I got to come up with a title. I got to come up with a name. I got to figure out what I'm going to say in it. But I'm going to invite people to it. Then all of a sudden, people are invited. So I have to show up. I have to create it. So now I'm just going to create it. But if you did a webinar every week, I don't care if 5 people show up, you're going to eventually hop onto something that hits people so well that they're going to want to sign up to, and they're going to want to spend thousands of dollars with you because you're going to hit something that's really good for them. And then you take the thing that you learned and you double down on it and you do it again and do it again. Eventually you have a product that is so good that nobody can compete with you. Again, just by following the double down principle. Try stuff, then double down on what works. Number 4, again, what did we learn so far? 1, we learned we have to be obsessed. Number 2, hang out with other people that are obsessed. 3, double down on what works. Try stuff and double down on what works. Number 4, reinvest to multiply. And this is another thing that's very unique about Mr. Beast because his goal, again, he stays with his obsession, with his to make the best videos possible. And if you have a bigger budget, you can create better videos. And so what he does is he doesn't actually keep the money he brings in. He makes money, and then he takes that money and he reinvests it into the next video, into the next promotion. And so in the same way, we can learn from that same thing because, again, if he makes a video that makes $1 million, he takes that $1 million, puts it into the next video, and then that next video is so much better because it has a higher budget. And so he's constantly reinvesting his money to multiply his success. And in the same way, we want to do the same thing. We want to take the revenue that we create, like have some revenue aside to where we know, okay, this is the money that we need to live off of, right? And to make a decent living, to be all right. So we take that off the top, but then all the rest of it, we figure out how can we reinvest this money to improve our process, to improve our offer, to improve what we're doing. And that might be like, there's a couple things that you can do. It might be advertising where you reinvest. Okay, we have $10,000 extra here to reinvest into ads this next month. Okay, let's do that. Or we have $10,000 here to reinvest in coaching and other masterminds that we can join that is going to shortcut our success. Because when you take time to invest in learning, then you can actually create better products, right? Or it might be, hey, we have $10,000 here to reinvest in how we deliver our product. And maybe it might be hiring a staff member, might be whatever the thing might be. you identify, okay, what's that? How can we take this money and reinvest it? Because the businesses that grow really, really big are the ones who reinvest. They set some aside to where they can live off of it. Then they take time to reinvest. And when they reinvest intelligently to create a better product. And when they create a better product and get more people into their ecosystem and create a better product, then it's a no-brainer because it's inevitable to become very, very successful if you do that. Again, that's what Mr. Beast did. And when you do this, you can become a multi-million-dollar business quite quickly just by simply reinvesting instead of hoarding your wealth. That's because that's a problem that a lot of people have. And this is where you find the people that kind of seemingly come out of nowhere. It's because they reinvested. They just made the bare minimum for themselves, and any extra that they had, they reinvested into their business to make it better. And those are the people who did it. And so that's why they came out of nowhere, because they were willing to reinvest. Do the same thing. It's going to reward you in the long run. So again, what did we learn? Number 1, you have to be obsessed. Number 2, hang out with other people that are obsessed. Number 3, double down on what works. Number 4 is you have to reinvest to multiply. And number 5, and this is the biggest one, and this is the one that we all know to be true, is you have to stay consistent. There's a simple reality to that. You have to persevere. And we all know that to be the biggest thing. But the simple reality is, in the beginning, Mr. Beast was obsessed, but he spent years barely receiving any views. But he stayed obsessed. He stayed consistent. He kept trying. He kept trying until he could find that thing that worked. The simple reality is creating something great takes time. And we want to be successful right away. We have this mindset of we need it right now, especially in this society. It's all like instant gratification mindset. And so that instant gratification mindset will actually keep you from success, and it will have you stopping right before you get success. And that's the simple reality is most people stop right before they hit the jackpot. They stop right before they be successful in their business, because the simple reality is it rarely happens to be successful quickly. But stacked up for the people that are consistent, it is inevitable because they stay consistent through the hard times, and all of a sudden they're successful. Things happen quickly sometimes. But to set yourself up for the quickly, you have to be consistent for a long term. And here's the reality. You're going to have a lot of chances to give up. In your journey, there's just a simple reality. You're going to have a ton of chances to give up. And you can choose to do that, or you can choose to learn from it. And when you learn from it and reinvest and keep learning, you will, and stay consistent, you will be successful eventually. And the goal is just to keep learning and evolving. And that's the key. Because a lot of people, they might stay consistent for a while, but they can stay consistent in their own minds and their same thing that they're doing, just trying to hit it harder. But the same actions over and over again just don't work. Instead, you have to learn from it. You have to evolve. You have to figure out, I'm taking this action. I'm doing this consistently. Why is it not working? Okay, what can I do to change this? Be obsessed again with creating a great product. And so every touch point that you create with people is a great product. It's part of your product. So be obsessed with it. Like these videos that I'm creating, I'm learning as I'm doing them. Some of them work, some of them don't work, but I'm learning from it. And as I'm learning from it, I'm learning, okay, these are the things that little tweaks I can make. These are some things I can do to make it simpler for me to show up better. And all of a sudden, the people who stay consistent long enough are the ones who seem to get lucky. And they're the ones that seem to get the overnight success. And we just simply don't see what happened beforehand, before that moment of success happens. So if you find your consistency, you keep trying things, you're going to find that same kind of lucky thing happen to you as well. Again, the key is to do it right, where you're learning from your consistency. So all in all, you take all these things together by following these simple keys. I truly believe that it's impossible for you to fail. You're going to become successful, and it might take some time, but that's all right. If you stay consistent and you learn from it, you double down on the things that work, and then you reinvest to multiply, and you do this all from a place of being obsessed with creating a great product, it's going to be really, really hard for you to fail. And the key is, again, to try things. Try it. Get ideas. Try things. Create things. Help people. And when you do that, all of a sudden, you'll start getting traction. Again, we had a client one time where we started with an idea. she essentially helps people write grants. And so our first idea was to teach other people how to make money writing grants. And we tried that product and that offer. It failed miserably. Like we still made like $1,500, but for what we were wanting to do and the money we spent, it wasn't worth the effort. And so we were like, okay, this didn't work. What can we learn from it? And so we tried a different idea, which was more of, hey, we're just going to teach nonprofits how to write grants right up front and then have a course on the back end that shows them how to write their full grant and submit it and all that stuff. So we did that, and that worked. That idea worked right out of the gate. We made a lot more money, and then we doubled down on that idea in short order. In like 2 months, we were at $15K a month in profit, which is kind of cool, right? So you want to do the same thing, try different ideas, find the thing that works, be willing to fail, learn from it, try it again until it works. And when you do that, you have that right mindset, that a mindset of being obsessed with just helping people and creating great product, you will get there. Again, here are the 5 keys, just to review, 5 keys we can learn from Mr. Beast that we can apply to our businesses. Number 1, be obsessed with creating the best product. Number 2, mastermind with others who are also obsessed. Number 3, double down on what works, letting go of the rest. Number 4, reinvest your revenue to multiply your success. Number 5 is stay consistent no matter what. You follow this, you cannot fail. And here's the cool thing about all this, like I'm creating a group where our goal is to be obsessed with creating great online courses and products to where, and the whole transformational journey. We want to be obsessed with the whole transformational journey, every touch point from the ad to the landing pages, to the funnels, to the offers, and beyond that to where people are lifelong customers because we created such an incredible journey of success for them. And that's our goal, is we're obsessed with that process. Like that's my thing, is I love creating these processes. I love thinking through ideas of how to make things better to where it's impossible for people to fail, almost impossible. Naturally, there's human like things that go into it. And so there's people that will quit and fail and so on and so forth. That's just part of the process. But learning from those people and having these feedback loops open to create a better journey, that's what I'm all about. So I'm creating a group about people who are obsessed about this. So if you want to be obsessed about creating a great product, an online product, following a spirit-led approach where it's genuine, it flows, and it's just authentic and good and powerful and relationship-based instead of manipulation-based, then this is what you want to be part of. Call it the spirit-led creator collaboration. Again, I might change that wording a little bit because this is idea phase yet, and so we're just gauging interest. Again, this is what I do. Like I'll create an idea, gauge interest first, and then we figure out, okay, are we going to double down on it? Is this going to work? We're going to try it, right? And so if you're interested, join the priority list. You can go to strategicgoodness.com/priority. And when you go there, there's also a link in the description. But when you go there, then join the list to show that you're interested. And once we have enough people that are interested, we'll launch something. Cool. I look forward to working with you and to being obsessed together and creating great products that can do millions and millions of dollars per year simply because we were focusing on the greatness of the product and not on making money or fame or any of that fluffy stuff that we don't need. But we're just here to focus on creating great products. Anyway, go out there, go kill it. You got this. If you like this video, then go like and subscribe, share it with other people because this gets out through you. And I genuinely believe like this is a process that we can all use and really works. So anyway, go out there and we'll see you in the next video.